Hello, everybody, and thank you for tuning in to our Valentine's Day special with me and my hubby. He is looking for some music. We're going to play a little soft music while everybody starts to come online. Happy Valentine's Day to all the people out there that are in relationships, or if you're not in a relationship, happy Valentine's to you, and I hope you are loving on yourself on this day. But anyway, while he's looking through music selections, I want to start as we always start. Let me move this out of the way. This is going to annoy me. Which is, first of all, just welcoming everybody to the I Choose Me hashtag NoMoreExcuses. Excuse me, I'm trying to get over this cough. But I just want to thank you for tuning in once again to I Choose Me hashtag NoMoreExcuses Tuesday Night Live. And on this day, we just want to celebrate love. And so what other way to celebrate love but then to have my the love of my life on with me today. And so we're talking about how do you stay in a loving relationship while you're still choosing yourself. And so that's the topic of the day. And I think I'm still waiting. Everybody is moving late. It is Valentine's Day.
Water.
No water.
You.
I can't leave you alone. You got me crazy. Okay, so you could stop it. You could pause it. I'm not waiting on nobody no more. Okay, so now we're going to start our live. Like I said, I'm trying to wait for people to tune in, but I'm only on for 20 minutes. I want to be very respectful of the time because it is out live every Tuesday. And so we're going to move forward, and hopefully the people that come on later can catch the beginning later. So at this time, we always like to stop with our motto, which is, I pledge to embrace who I am today, love who I was yesterday, and inspire who I will become tomorrow. And so the idea of that is to love yourself enough to move on from where you are and embrace who you are at the time. Now, like I said, this week for Valentine's Day, we decided that we were going to do a couples I Choose Me. And this topic today is how to have a loving relationship while still choosing yourself. And so, how do you feel about the I Choose Me movement, and how does it affect our love?
I mean, I just love...
Well, you can talk to the people.
I just love
watching
you take on something and become great at it. It's amazing to watch. Like, I've seen you... Well, you've never been a quiet person, but I've seen you grow into real intellectual, intelligent, picking the right words, know exactly what to say, when to say it. Honest person, and it's hard to find somebody like you.
And so the main focus I feel is people who are looking for relationships, people who are looking to be loved. I say that at the end of the day, you have to love yourself first in order to get a mate that's gonna compliment you, support you. We was talking about this earlier about how in relationships, the problem in relationships is that people send their representative in a relationship, and your representative is who comes in and performs and portrays themselves to be a certain kind of way. And then after a while, there's a breakdown in relationship because that's not your true self. And so the key of loving and embracing and finding the love of your life, you have to start with first knowing who you are, knowing what you want, knowing what you require, knowing what you want for your life and how you see your life. And so it's so important to know yourself enough to be able to see how you want your life to be. So when you met me, did you think, and you can be honest, did you think that I was into myself, or did you just call it confidence?
I'm not gonna say. When I first met you, the first thought of my mind was, she's not all that.
That's honest. We're gonna have an honest conversation.
It's terrible.
Okay.
Only reason being said because my brother, like other people, like, oh man, you gotta meet Kia's cousin. She fine, bro. She fine. She that. She got this long hair and it's locks, but it don't look like dreads. And I'm like, what? So I don't know what I was thinking, but when I saw you, I was like, she ain't all that.
So what would you say that my So what drew you to me then? Since I wasn't all that, y'all.
I'm gonna say I saw something in you. At the time, I really didn't know what it was exactly, but I saw something that drew me to you. And it's your attitude, man. You have the attitude that matches mine. So it's like it drew me to you. People say I'm crazy, but
anyway, moving forward. But honestly, the way I see it is, I think that I had to basically. I knew a long time ago what I wanted for my life. I knew the vision I wanted for my life. I knew that there were certain things that Hey, Tanika! Hey!
You can't do that.
You can't do that. It's live. You got to say hi to the people if they say hi to you.
But
hey!
I got my glasses on. I can't see.
Oh, well,
this.
I'll tell you. That's Tanika saying hi.
That's my daughter-in-law. How you doing, Tanika?
But seriously, at the realistically moving in a relationship, being with Rondell, it was a journey. I don't want people to think that, everybody wakes up and life is perfect. No, it's about going through the steps. It's about embracing the journey. It's about understanding that you can come with your best self. It's about understanding that you can be who you are. See, when we make the mistake of thinking that we're not enough, and so we try to be somebody that we're not, or when we find ourselves looking for somebody, I can say, honestly, I think the reason why I found Rondell, I moved down here. I was in Charlotte for maybe a couple of months right before, I met Rondell. And
which is the man of her dreams.
Which became the man of my dreams. But honestly, I wasn't looking for anybody. Mm-mm. And I think the biggest gift you can give yourself is when you're not on the search. When you are basically content with being alone, content with who you are, content with your what you want for your life, not taking any I guess what's the word I'm looking for? Not taking any. What's your words? Oh my goodness. Anyway, but not taking any, anything from anybody. Basically saying, this is what I demand. I deserve this, and that's it. You're gonna stand up for yourself, stand up for your love, stand up for the commitment you have for yourself.
Me, the first conversation we had, it was an argument.
And anybody who knows us know that we argue, but we love just as hard as we argue. We'll be celebrating 15 years come March 3rd.
That's a long
15
time.
years, 5 kids later, and I just know that in order for you to be in a very committed and loving relationship, first of all, you have to have respect for one another.
You gotta have respect.
You have to have respect for one another. You have to be honest.
What do you mean by respect, though? You can't just say you have to have respect for yourself.
Well,
what do you mean?
Because respect is different.
There's different levels of respect.
And the key is in a relationship is to tell somebody what you want and how you feel. Because at the end of the day, you can't expect anyone to read your mind. Mm-hmm. And so if you're in a relationship hoping that people understand you just because of the way you're moving, you'll find out that you'll bump hit a lot of dead ends. Wouldn't you agree?
Yes, I would. Yes, I would.
But argue a lot, laughing is be funny though. Oh, okay. Janine is saying that yes, we are some arguing people.
Hey, I scared the mess out of my niece a couple times. I know I did.
What would you recommend for women who are looking for love.
Looking for love. But see, now women...
From a man's perspective. So if there's men that are tuning in that have a comment about that, I'm gonna
tell you what it is. It's the women that's looking for help and not looking for love that's messing it up for the women that's actually looking for love. Because when you start making comments or doing things from the woman that we just had that was looking for help and wasn't looking for love, you remind us of her, so we don't. It's not gonna work like that, man. So it ain't really you all's fault. It's the ones that ain't doing what they supposed to be doing.
Well, I'm gonna say this one. Even what you're saying with the people looking for help, I think at the end of the day, he made a valid point when he just said, because of someone before. The worst thing that you can do is come into a relationship holding the baggage of someone before. You always have to give the person that you're starting off with the opportunity to put their best foot forward. You cannot hold on to somebody else's mistakes and make it your tomorrow's problems. It is unfair to move in a relationship allowing somebody else to take on the burdens and the mistakes of somebody else. And so the key to having a successful relationship is definitely going in with a clean slate. It's definitely going in with your true self.
You can't come into a relationship acting like you this person when in actuality you're this person. It gets, what's going to happen is you're going to start pretending so long that you're going to start getting aggravated with the person that you're pretending for, instead of just being who you are from the forefront. How you start is how you go in, man. If you're starting a certain way, that's how you go in. That's how they expect, man or woman, that's how they expect you to be. If that's who you saying that you are. And if you're not coming into any relationship, it's a business relationship, personal relationship, any kind of relationship, and you can't be honest with the other person sitting across from you, I mean, I don't know what you're doing it for, man. Y'all just hanging out, I guess.
But that's what I was saying from the very beginning of the conversation, is that you come in. Too often we send our representative, and it's because we're looking. That's what I said. What helped us out with loving each other and growing, like, I can't believe it's been this many years. That's what I'm talking about. The type of love that time just flies. You know they said time flies when you're having fun. I think at the end of the day, because neither one of us was looking or searching or was trying to impress each other, we were able to actually be ourselves. And in being ourselves, we learned to fall in love with who that was. Mm-hmm. And so we didn't fall in love with somebody who they wasn't. So in time like fine wine, we got better. We learned each other more. We grew and we became, parents, and we became all these other things that the journey took us on, because we were able to both of us come as ourselves. And even in the things that we didn't like about each other, we were honest enough to say, listen, this is not working for me. I love myself enough to say, this is not working for me. And so it's about having real conversations, because first of all, you owe yourself that much. You definitely owe yourself that much when you're going to be in a relationship, to have the honest, true conversations about where you are, who you are, and what you expect from the person that you're going to give your life to. And so I don't think that the time that you're picking your mate is a time for you to not be accountable to yourself. That is the most important time for you to put yourself on a high level, on a high regard, and demand the best for your life. Because
it's just not just with your mate. It's your friends. Your business associates. We're talking about relationships here. So just to backtrack, we're going to say respect, and honesty goes into that respect aspect of the relationship. We're going to go a little further because we only got 20 minutes. The second, I'm going to say, it's 4 things you need to have a good, long, lasting, healthy relationship. The first one is respect. And in that respect, you have to be honest with each other. So that's the utmost respect, okay? The second thing I'm going to say, people like to say, oh, you have to have compromise in a relationship. You do not compromise in a relationship. Why would you want somebody to make you sell yourself short? Vice versa. Why would I want you to sell yourself short? You don't compromise. You have compassion, and you have consideration. That's what you have. Okay, if I'm considerate of you and your feelings, it's gonna affect the decisions that I make from day to day.
Mm-hmm.
Vice versa. If she's considerate of my feelings and how I feel and think, then the decision she's make is going to be different every day to day. And that goes in your relationships, that goes in your business, that goes in your friendships, that goes in just about anything.
And which brings us back to what the I Choose Me is all about, which is until you love yourself, see yourself, and hold yourself on high regard, you can't expect anybody else to come in and love you, see you, and hold you on high regard. Because like we say, you teach people how to treat you. And so if you don't have a standard on which you want for your life, you can't expect anybody else to show up and bring a standard for you. You have to set the mark. You have to set levels in your own life. And when somebody falls short, you can't blame them when you have never even let them know what it is that they are, rising up to become. It's up to you to be clear with the people in your life. Like you said, whether it's your mate, your love, your relationship, your family, whatever it is, in order to get the best out of a relationship, everybody has to be honest, like he said. Everybody has to be not willing to compromise on their own self-morals, right? Not willing to compromise on their dreams, their desires, not willing to compromise on the vision that they see for themselves. So whoever you're with, they have got to be aligned with your journey and what you see for yourself. You need somebody that's going to pour into you and make you better and not take out of you and make you worse. Because whomever you're going to give and spend the rest of your life with, you're planning to grow. And like we said, love grows everything. And in order to grow, you have to have love there. And unless you have a respect for one another, unless you have a commitment to one another, unless you have a dedication to one another, you can't grow it, because there will be no love there. You will start to build a resentment and everything else when you're not basically living up to the potential of your relationship. Wouldn't you agree?
I agree.
Well, do you have anything else to say on that topic? Of choosing you. And so as a male perspective, how hard is it to be in a relationship while in the beginning stages of getting to know a woman? Because I can only talk from the woman perspective. We do this every week, but we got the man in here today to tell us a perspective of how you see stuff. Let go of what's toxic to your relationships. Yes, Tanika said you have to let go of what's toxic to your relationships, and that's so true. And that includes people. That's one of my points I was gonna say. Oh, that's one of your points? Yeah.
Slow down.
But that's so true. Toxic things in your relationship, you have to let it go. Because what are we saying? We're trying to grow our relationship. We're trying to be the best in our relationship. We're all trying to bring our best selves. And so if we're toxic and if we're not pouring goodness into our relationships, what will it become? So you was about to say, what was your point you was about to say?
I can't remember. Tanika messed me up.
She messed you up. Okay. Tanika laughing. She laughing. But basically, that's what it all boils down to. It's about being able to reach the level you want to reach in your relationship because you have basically put the other person in basically...
that's my third point. I'm saying, what I said, we said respect.
Respect.
Consideration. Right?
Mm-hmm.
The third one I would consider would be, I'm going to say, supportive.
Support.
That's support.
Support.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
What I mean by support is I have to be your biggest fan.
Correct.
It doesn't matter what. If you want to do nails, I have to be your biggest fan about you doing nails. Oh, my wife do nails. She the best nails tech in the East Coast. I have to be your number one supporter. Vice versa, you have to be my number one supporter. Mm-hmm. You have to be a cheerleader for your significant other, business partner, friendship, or whatever relationship you got going on. You have to be each other's cheerleaders.
I love that. I love that point. Did y'all hear what he said? In relationships, whether it's your significant other, whatever it is, if it's an authentic relationship, which you mean from the bottom of your heart, you have to show up to be the cheerleader in your significant other's life. And so if that means that whatever it is that wherever there is they're barking upon, they have to know that you're going to be there all the way. They need your support. They need your commitment. They need your trust. And they need to know that if nobody else believes in them, they got one person that does. So it doesn't make sense to be in a relationship and still feel like you're alone. When you get in a relationship, you always, outside of yourself, give yourself another person to show up for you when you can't. Because I'm going to say, in life, we can get drained. And life happens and it takes over us, and we're human. But in order to be your best self, in order to grow to the level you want to grow, it's important that if you're going to place people in your circle and in your life, that they're bringing the best to you. That, like I said, weeks ago, we talked about 93, making sure that the people who are supporting you and loving you and in your life is bringing the best to you, especially your mate. Your mate should be giving you more than you can take. No pun intended.
That goes to my fourth. My fourth point.
What's your fourth point?
You got to have love, man. I ain't talking about, you got some people that like to tell you, oh, I love you. Mm-hmm. I love you, man. I love you. If you love me, you don't have to tell me because I already see it. My wife don't have to tell me she loves me every day. I see it from what she does, what she says, how she treats me. You understand what I'm saying? No, I still, I tell her, she tell me, but she don't have to tell me every day because I see it. Mm-hmm. Love is an action word. If you can't show somebody how you loving them, you don't really love them. So you have to have, look, I broke it down for you. Respect. All right? Don't let people come between your relationship with you and the other person. If you got the respect there. Mm-hmm.
So I got to respect. What's the second one?
Consideration. Cheerleader.
Number one supporter.
Man. Support.
And what was that last one we spoke about?
Love. Because this is what we here for. Love.
Now, I'm gonna say something that helped me a lot in meeting Rondell. First of all, everybody know, okay, so my thing is Precious loves herself. That's clear. We all know that. Bam. That's true. But what helped me a lot in my relationship was loving myself enough to trust my instincts. Because I will say that when it came to relationships and, commitments, for me, if anything, one thing was off, I was done. It don't matter how the relationship looked to the world. It didn't matter how good it looked. If it was one thing, I was done because of my past. So it was like, I'm not going to tolerate anything. If you show me one thing that I don't like, I'm going to wash my hands. And I always did that. But when it came to this one right here, let me tell you, there was something about him that made me come back, made me rethink just walking away. Made me rethink what the commitment was worth, made me rethink what it was that he was adding, what he was bringing, and how did that affect me? And was he worth it? That's the question you have to ask yourself. Whatever sacrifices you make in a relationship, wherever you want your relationship to go, the question you have to ask yourself is the other person worth it? Now, your instincts will let you know if they're worth it or not. My instincts made me do what I've never done before, which was give somebody a second chance.
Okay, I'll take that back then. We got one more then.
What's the other one?
5. Forgiveness.
Forgiveness is important in a relationship. It's so important because it teaches people to understand. It teaches you to understand that none of us are perfect. We all fall short. Now, is the levels on forgiveness. There's certain things that's unforgivable to me. That's just me. But, it's the little things that I was unforgiving of. Little simple stuff, simple things. I was kind of, But
you have to apologize.
You have to apologize to be forgiven. You remember that? And I don't care, and this is something that's very important. If you affect somebody in a way that hurts them, If you love them, it doesn't matter how many times you have to apologize until they become secure. If they matter to you, you apologize until they are comfortable. If you want to work it out. And if you are the wrong person, I'm telling you, if you're wrong in a situation, you have to humble yourself and be the bigger person. You have to do that. And that's hard. That's hard, especially when you got stubborn people. In relationships, it's often that you got stubborn people. But the gift you give yourself is the same forgiveness that you bestow upon them will be given unto you. So, you got to move in that way, love in that way, grow in that way. And the key in a relationship, I think, is trust. As long as you have trust for one another, as long as you have a big commitment for one another, there is nothing that you can't get over. There is nothing that you can't tackle in life. The sky is the limit. Like I said, we're going on 15 years of marriage. 5 kids later, and we still manage to love hard,
work,
laugh hard,
it's work,
fight hard, but all together we realize that we work. We work. And so if something works, it's worth working on. Wouldn't you agree?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I mean, we can go in depth with this. We don't have no time. Like, I have so much knowledge.
Okay, so let me, we like to read this. So Tanika is saying that's one thing people don't understand, that everybody plays the fool, LOL, but if they're worth it, it's okay. And that's the bottom line. If you find somebody that's worth it, because like I said, nobody is perfect. You'll never find a perfect relationship. But if you find somebody that compliments you in a way that your love is perfect, that you understand each other on a perfect level, that you love each other on a perfect level, that you support each other on a perfect level. Perfection just means that I see you for who you are. I see you for who you are. Because at the end of the day, there is nothing perfect about any of us. But it's about myself and what I bring. It perfectly works and complements for yourself and what you bring. So together, the relationship is perfect because we are committed to one another in a perfect type of way. You like that?
I like that, girl.
And on Tiny said, that's right. You have to trust one another. And Booker said, yes, hashtag go. Oh, thank you. We're goals. Oh, I love being goals.
Goals?
Hashtag goals. That's the new thing. Look,
that's that young people stuff.
I have so much knowledge. That's Janine. Janine saying she has so much knowledge. But look, we already done went.
I taught Janine everything she knows.
You taught Janine everything she knows. But what I want everybody to understand is that in order to have a very good relationship, to have a productive relationship, to have a relationship that will grow, you have to have love. You have to have trust. You have to have respect. You have to have consideration. You have to become the cheerleader for not only you, but for the person that looks into you, that looks for you to hold them down, that looks for you to support them, that looks for you to be their everything, And when you are everything to yourself, it allows you to be everything to everybody else around you. And so I'm all roads always going to lead back to I choose me, hashtag no more excuses. In order for us to be who we are, in order for us to be who we are to everybody, especially to one another, is because we are loving on ourselves and we are appreciating, we are acknowledging that what we have is a gift. That's another thing you have to understand. You have to understand if you're in a relationship with somebody that loves you and you love and it works and it feeds your soul and it feeds your mind and it feeds your spirit and it feeds your heart, that you gotta embrace that. You have to be glad about that. You have to know that that's what it's all about. That is worth it. That's what the journey is all about. It's having somebody to love you like you love yourself. And like I said earlier, it's having somebody to compete with loving you more than you love yourself. It's a competition in a relationship. Who's going to love who better today? Who's got more in them today? And if your goal is not to love your mate more today than you did yesterday, then you're not trying to grow the relationship. Now, I'm gonna share my poem for today, which is, I feel in order to be in the best relationship, in order to be in a loving, committed relationship, you have to be complete within yourself. And so that's the poem for today. It says, you see, I was waiting for you to validate who I am. But I found myself disappointed time and time again, because the confidence that I was lacking inside took a long time for me to realize that you can't provide. I have to be complete within myself. You see, I stayed here so long because I was longing to be satisfied and complete with what you brought to me. But as days and years passed, time took a toll. And I realized with everything you have, it still can never make me whole. I have to be complete within myself. With my self-esteem unsteady, I was hoping that you could build me up. But only with the strength from God can I fill my empty cup. As I was waiting for you to complete me, I was getting weaker day by day. Because instead of adding to me, you were taking more of me away. That's why I have to be complete within myself. As I looked into the mirror, I wanted you to make me proud. But I forgot that my reflection is the face of the voice that should ring out loud. You never said what I wanted to hear, so I was confused on where I stood. Because I was waiting for you to be the mechanic to what was wrong underneath my hood. I have to be complete within myself. So as time and relationships progressed, I longed to turn into a butterfly. And the only thing that was constant was the question, why? Why after all this time am I still longing to be complete? Why have what I thought would make me stronger only made me weak? Because I gave so much of myself that you could never refill. And I had to learn to be complete within myself. I would first have to heal. Heal from the disappointments that was never really your fault. It was a misunderstanding of what completeness should exalt. I have since then accepted that true completeness comes from within. And what you bring to the table should only complement who I already am. Because I am complete within myself. And so that is what the relationship and the journey is all about. In order to be in an amazing relationship, in order to be an amazing person in a relationship, you have to come complete within yourself. You cannot be coming expecting people to fill you up. You should be coming expecting people to compliment who you are, to know who you are. You have to know who you are in a way that allows them to respect you, meet you where you are, and love you from where you are. Because if you allow a representative to come in and show up for you, you will be exposed later on, and you will try to figure out why is the relationship not working. It's because you were not your true self. You didn't bring your real self, and in return, you lost out in a good thing. And so in order to get the best, you got to bring the best. So if you bring your best, I can promise you that you'll get the best out of anything you give, especially in relationships. And I'm talking about with your mate. I'm talking about with your friends, your family, anybody that you have a relationship with. In order to be your best self, you have to know yourself, you have to love yourself, and you have to make people understand who you are. And you can't be afraid to tell them when they're falling short. You have to be able to be honest with what they're bringing to you. Tiny, wow, that was dope. Oh, thank you. I love your poems. That means so much. Love you, cousin. I love you too. Thank you. At this time, we're gonna end out our session of Valentine's Day. I hope all you lovers out there gonna enjoy your night. Those who are not with anybody tonight, I just want you to say, work on yourself. Love yourself. Don't go searching for anybody. Find the love in yourself that you want somebody else to give you. When you pour into yourself, the person that comes back is going to pour back into you. Babe, what you want to say to everybody before we go? Huh? Say bye to, come on, say something to the people.
I'm listening to H-Town, y'all. She got me on this precious potion. It's been real. I had a good time. I don't know if you're going to see me again. But we do marriage couple retreats, man. You have to book us online at which website you use, which email do you use?
Oh, thank you for reminding me. You can definitely follow me on Instagram at I Choose Me Movement. You can email me at ichoosememovement@gmail.com. You could join my Facebook page on my group page at I Choose Me, #NoMoreExcuses. I want to thank everybody. Carolyn, thank you for tuning in. Tiny, thank you, Aunt Tiny. Thank you, everybody.
All your catering needs, Grills on Wheels. Hit me up, grillsonwheels704@gmail.com.
Absolutely. So I just want to say I hope everybody has a wonderful Valentine's Day. I'm going to enjoy the rest of mine. Thank you for tuning in once again for another Tuesday night. Love you guys. Love yourself. Oh, the motto. I pledge to, you know the motto, baby? I pledge to embrace who I am today, love who I was yesterday, and inspire who I will become tomorrow. You know why? Because I'm enough. I choose me, #NoMoreExcuses. Happy Valentine's Day, y'all. Love you, and we're going to seal our Valentine's Day with a kiss. Love you.
So addicted. So addicted.
Oh, still having a hard time stopping it. How about you stop it for me? I have this problem every week. Hit finish. No. You gotta hit the